Kingsman: The Secret Service is the most recent film from Matthew Vaughn, who is one of the best directors working today. He's done all sorts of great movies. Kick-Ass, Stardust, the third best X-Men movie. Yeah, I said it. Anyway, now he's brought us yet another movie based on a comic book, and I'm glad to say that it is amazing. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start the review.
No stomach for violence. I see one drop of blood, that is me. Done.
Basically, if you don't know, Kingsman is the story of this spy agency that is made up of complete gentlemen. After a Kingsman agent dies, they want to recruit a new member. So Colin Firth's character recruits Eggsy, the son of a former Kingsman, and he must then train to become a spy himself. And thus, we have a movie. A movie that is extremely fun. Let's start off with the good. The action in this movie is spectacular. While there are about 5 or 6 big action scenes, there were 3 that really stood out to me. The pub fight at the very beginning, the final showdown between Gazelle and Eggsy, and of course the infamous church scene. And while we're on it, I might as well address the church scene. This scene is not going to be for everyone. Like, at all. If you don't know, it's basically Colin Firth in this hate church that's more or less the Westboro Baptist Church, and then a massacre unfolds. Impalings, neck breakings, heads being set on fire, face shootings, eye stabbings, you name it. It's basically like if someone dropped a cameraman into this insanely violent riot, and I loved it. Not that I love watching people die in numerous ways, but violence in Matthew Vaughn films is always done in a way so that you can enjoy it. It's over the top, fun to watch, really well choreographed, and goes down to some awesome music. In this case, Freebird. If you can't stand violence, then you will hate this. But if you can enjoy some over-the-top cartoony fun, then you'll probably love this. Just on this topic also, this movie is really bold, which is another thing I really like about Matthew Vaughn. Other people would say, we can't have Oscar-winning Colin Firth stab someone in the eye, beat someone over the head with a Bible, then pull out the same knife he just stabbed someone with and plunge it into another person's head. But Matthew Vaughn did not hold back. It also has lots of humor that's really funny and works, but if the jokes hadn't landed properly, they would have been really cringy and offensive. But the humor worked as a great point in this movie's favor. I also really liked how it pokes fun at modern spy movies, and how they're a little too serious.
You like spy movies, Mr. DeVere?
Nowadays, they're all a little serious for my taste.
Oh, when I was a kid, that was my dream job. Gentleman spy.
As a child, I rather fancied a future as a colorful megalomaniac.
Another thing I loved was the cast. The only other thing I've seen Colin Firth in is The King's Speech, which he's really good in as evidenced by his Oscar. However, I never saw him as someone who could pull off some awesome action scenes. But after this movie, I've completely turned around on that. He apparently did something like 80% of his own stunts, which is crazy considering what he does in the movie. Taron Egerton is the best in the movie in my opinion. His character could very easily become unlikable, but he's kind and funny and you feel sorry for him with all the domestic abuse stuff. He also has a pretty great transformation from this to this. Mark Strong, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite actors, is great as well. And Samuel L. Jackson as the villain, while some people might say he was overacting a bit, I think he fit perfectly with the world and characters. Mark Hamill also has a quick part, which was funny because Mark Hamill, the actual actor, plays a part in the Kingsman comics. The training stuff was also really fun to watch, especially that parachute scene. The gadgets were really cool and reminded me about what I love about spy movies. It was also really cool to see these people beating the living hell out of bad guys and yet still be sophisticated gentlemen. This movie also made me think of one thing. Remember that Alex Rider movie? Yeah, it was pretty bad, but the books are great. This movie is what Alex Rider should have been. Well, Alex Rider with more head explosions, limb dismemberment, F-words, S-words, N-words. You know what? Just more words.
How deep does this fucking thing go?
The world is going to look like I give a
Now, the bad of the movie. Was there anything bad? Well, not really. The only thing I can really think of is that 1 or 2 green screen effects weren't that great, and the violence will definitely have some people feeling less than happy. The villain's plan is a bit convoluted and weird, but that's really more of a good thing for the movie. The first scene of the movie with the Kingsman agent who dies, I didn't really like it that much, but besides that, this was great. Now, there were a few turns in this movie that I didn't expect, in particular what happened right after the church scene. No spoilers here, but it just kind of took me by surprise. So overall, this movie might divide audiences. If you don't like violence or over-the-top action scenes and foul language and all that stuff, then this isn't for you. But if you do get a kick out of that stuff, then you'll love this. And I loved this. In the end, I'll give Kingsman a 9.2 out of 10. Definitely the most fun I've had at the movies this year so far. So, what did you think of Kingsman? Be sure to let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, and subscribe for more videos like the one you just watched. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.